But I really exploded out of the wineskin that I was in at that stage. And I just decided, this is life. We started having fellowships at our home that developed into a number of fellowships. Many of the people that were in our fellowship at home moved to other places, started fellowshipping there. For a little while I was quite occupied about the form in which church is done. So I read all the books about house church and how it's done, and I went and visited a few places. Very interesting. But you know what I discovered is, if you've got the best possible wine, whether it's in the glass or whether it's in a bottle, whatever, it tastes good and it's precious. And if you've got poison, whether you drink it out of a small cup or a big cup, it's going to harm you. And I very soon discovered that no matter what form a church or institution takes on, it's really about the content. And I was so blessed by reading one guy. He lived in the 1800s, and he just did a commentary on Revelations. And the one thing he read in Revelations, when it had the vision of heaven, it mentions this specifically: I saw no temple there. In heaven, there is no temple. And he says, what God started showing me is that the only purpose for our institutions, our organizations, etc., is to teach people how to live without it. And so often what happens in our institutions and our organizations is we're trying to teach people how to live for the organization, how to serve it, etc. But the whole purpose of the organization is to introduce people to a life that will blossom in any circumstance, in any situation, wherever they are. And so we started, I then really became quite, can I say, concerning church form, I'm absolutely agnostic. I don't care whether it's big or small, whether it's got lots of programs or little. I don't really care. What I know is we've got the message. It's like a lever. It needs to get in anywhere, and it will start reproducing. So we saw the Lord opening opportunities in many different variety of places. So meetings like this is quite common, coffee shop meetings, but also there are traditional churches and sometimes big charismatic churches and every kind of, sometimes Roman Catholic places, whatever, I don't care what it's like. We've discovered a message where God has cancelled all distance. I was so blessed when we were in Budapest at the one minister. After we ministered at this church, he invited about 18 other people that were also involved in ministering one way or another in the city. And so we were for lunch, and on the Sunday we were all about 25 or whatever people in his house having lunch, and he said to me, this has never happened. You see, because the moment you discover that God has cancelled all distance between yourself and Him, and it's not based on anything you've done or said or believed, then suddenly you discover that the distance between you and your brother is not cancelled based on something he's done or not. God has cancelled that distance as well. And so we've seen doors in every kind of situation and open, and we know that we've got the message that can blossom anywhere. Wonderful contacts with, Angry Womack ministries in many places in Europe, but many times it's just, we've got to learn to just act on the prompting that God God gives us. At one stage, it was last year, about a year ago, I just felt, oh, God, I want to go somewhere and speak this. And I know that my only responsibility, God's taught me this often, is to see accurately. And if you see accurately, He's going to give you opportunities to share. So He always brings me back to that. If you get frustrated, just go see some more. He almost makes you so excited that you get frustrated that you want to share. And I was just sitting and I just felt the Lord said, you need to get to Budapest. So I just emailed somebody I knew who was excited about the new book that I was bringing out and said, I'll drop it off for you in Budapest. And she said, oh, let me put you in contact. And she put us in contact with a precious man called Joseph. And the next thing we knew, Joseph organized meetings for us at different churches. We met with Joseph, spent the whole Saturday with him. And so many opportunities in that city has opened. Every time we've gone, the opportunity's been 3 times bigger. The last time, was it the last time we did like 6 conferences in 3 days.